What's going on, everybody? I hope all is well with you. Hope all is well with you. Hope all is well with you. Come on in, come on in, come on in. And we are going to talk about uh, Miss Kimberly and the journey that she's been on. Uh, and we'll talk a few minutes about that. This this is an opportunity for us to just talk about a lot of the stuff that has been going on with Miss Kimberly. Hit them hearts, y'all. Hit them hearts. Hit them likes. Hit them thumbs up to let us know that you're on. Hit those thumbs up. Say something in the comments so we can talk to y'all. Say something in the comments so we can talk to y'all. Hopefully, y'all are doing well. Hopefully, y'all are doing well, man. I am so excited about this opportunity. We are going to talk about just a brief moment about some things that has happened over the last 4 to 6 months. I know some of you have recently communicated or have reached out to myself or Kimberly about her recent diagnosis that she's had with her breast cancer diagnosis. And so we wanted to just talk to you all at one time. Let us know. Hit the comments. Let us know you're in here so that we can know that you are able to hear us, number one. And then number two, that you are on with us. Come on in. 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 I know it's been a while. I can't remember the last time I went live for anything. So we're gonna go live, but please, y'all come on in. Come on in. Come on in. So look, I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. First of all, I want to say what's up to everybody. Hope all is well with you. And man, I just got a couple of questions. This is really for Kimberly, not necessarily me specifically. We've got an overwhelming amount of people who have reached out about Kimberly's diagnosis, her diagnosis last year in October. Um, uh, her diagnosis for breast cancer. And we just wanted to briefly talk about that and then about some other stuff briefly. Not going to be on here too long, but we just going to have a conversation. And as y'all have questions, uh, we're going to get into it. Okay? All right. So, Kimberly, go ahead and say something to the people.
Hello, hello, hello. Um, just want to say hi. Also want to say thank you to all those who have reached out to me. I really appreciate your concern, your thoughts, your prayers, your encouragement. It's been nice reading a lot of those comments and a lot of the messages that I've received. But one thing I do want to start off with saying is that I am okay. I am okay. I really am okay. Because I had some people messaging me and was like, I didn't know you were sick.
Yeah.
Not sick.
A lot of people was hitting her up and me. And they were kind of mad, like, well, why you didn't tell us and why we didn't know and this, that, and other. And we was just like, well, this was something that Kimberly wanted to go through.
Yes,
So it wouldn't be a situation where the focus would be her diagnosis,
correct.
but more importantly, an inspiration to those that when we did talk about it, they would be inspired by her story. And
Right.
so, just briefly tell us about, how this process started, and then also about, just a little bit about how you felt and all that kind of stuff. Just talk to us about how it started.
So the process started back in October.
Hmm.
I was doing a self-examination and um, realized that something didn't feel right and realized I had a knot in my breast. So immediately I made an appointment to go have that checked. And from then on, there's been appointments after appointments
Yeah.
until we found out, what it was.
Hmm. So initially, when she went to the doctor, when we went to the doctor, she was just going because she noticed a lump. And if we could just kind of put a pin right there, those of you who haven't been to the doctor, those of you who got insurance, or even the ones who don't have insurance but can find a way to get to the doctor, I'm one of those ones that I'm not a doctor kind of guy, so I don't really care about going to the doctor. And me and Kim are pretty healthy individuals. So, for all our lives, we ain't been no doctor going kind of people. We do little checkups here and there, but it ain't no, it wasn't a big deal to us. You know what I'm saying? It was just one of those deals where we go when we go. I've only been to the doctor, on a regular basis when I had my, car accident. And, but for the most part, we're not sickly,
No.
So tell us, what was your indications?
But let me say this. So I've had a mammogram probably 5 or 6 years ago, and it was good. So it wasn't that I haven't had a mammogram before. I actually had one before time, because usually you either someone in your family have to have cancer, or you have some type of something going on.
Right.
But I had mine early, and usually they don't like to give them to you early before time. But I had mine early because I was experiencing some pain in the same breast. But I went and had the mammogram, but everything was good. 5 years later, they diagnosed me at stage 3.
You see how fast that goes. It went from nothing at all to a notice of a little lump.
Yes.
That, initially it was like, okay, maybe it's just something going on, a little growth or something. It ain't nothing. But as it kept growing, she was just like, wait a minute, I feel something and it's getting bigger. Then it started hurting. And then when it started hurting to the touch, it was like, okay, we finna go get this checked out. It was no longer a situation where we were on some, we'll just let it ride. No, it was like, okay, it's hurting.
Well, the first initial mammogram, it was, I went because I was experiencing some pain.
Okay.
But I got a clean report. It wasn't until 5 years later when it wasn't even no pain this time. It was just a knot there, a mass had formed. And not only did one mass form, had 4 masses that formed.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question, because those that are coming on, we're talking about Kimberly's journey through this process. And so what's going on to everybody? I'm noticing people that are coming on Instagram and Facebook. What's up, everybody? There's some folk on YouTube that's coming on, and TikTok. What's up with y'all? As y'all come on, man, we just talking about, because it's something I wanted to talk about, because I know there's a lot of females and men.
Men get breast cancer too.
That's right. And even men, even when it comes to colon, getting your colonoscopy, getting your man checkup, we kind of let it ride because, of course, most men don't want to go through that process. So we were just, kind of going through the regular normal checkups. It was because of her that I even started doing my normal man checkup, because of the things that she had been going through. So, God had a timing that was impeccable for what we had went through in process. Man, it was hard because Kim, like I said, is a very strong, very healthy individual. Right. Moves around. You will never know that anything is going on just from the look. Right. But as things progressed, it was like, okay, wait a minute, something is happening here, and we need to get this checked out for real. So, and that was in October of 2025. Right. What was your initial reaction, though, when you received your breast cancer diagnosis in October?
Whew. Well, I actually had 2 reactions. First reaction was I was afraid of the process.
Okay.
I wasn't afraid that they diagnosed me with cancer. And at this point, I didn't even know what stage it was at. But it was the fear of the process of what I was going to have to go through.
Now, mind you, we getting checked up, and the most we were thinking was, okay, hey, she gonna go in. The doctor looked at it, did the MRI, the X-ray, and all that, CAT scans, and all that kind of stuff. And we thinking, okay, she gonna come back and just say, hey, it's just something that was developed in your breast that may just
milk does.
Yeah, we just need to kind of monitor it, and but you're fine. That's what we're thinking, So, never in a million years are we thinking she's gonna come back with her diagnosis. We get to the doctor. We're talking to the doctor. and the doctor comes back in, sits down. Anytime a doctor comes in and sits down, okay.
Well, before the doctor even came in and sat down, when I went and had the mammogram, the way they rushed into my room to read the report was like I knew something was up.
Yeah.
Because you usually don't get to talk to the doctor right away.
Right. Yeah. So the doctor comes in and the doctor sits down. And what does the doctor say?
The doctors came in.
Right.
More than one. And came in and they wasn't really saying anything to me. They were just like looking at the reports and they was kind of like eyeballing each other and I guess speaking in code. Because when I went for the mammogram, they wasn't supposed to give me a report of anything. They just supposed to check you and those doctors are supposed to read it. And you get, the people call you later on and tell you, what the status is.
Right. Now, mind you, all while this is going on, we still traveling. We still going to church every week.
Yes.
We still going. I mean, doing regular parent stuff, taking the kids to the school and, doing what parents do. You know what I'm saying? Doing what adults do. We go and take care of stuff. And, it's never a situation where we're thinking anything other than, it's just something that's just going to pass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We never, ever stopped moving. Kim never, ever stopped moving, kept going. It was never a situation where she decided, hey, man, you know what? I'm going to fall back. Something's going on or any of that. She stayed committed, stayed faithful to her work, stayed faithful as a parent, as a mother, as a wife. Y'all would see her on Facebook. She would be doing her cooking shows and doing her cooking things, and she'd be doing all that. Y'all be commenting and all that kind of stuff, because she was still doing all that. Nothing changed, man. I'm saying nothing changed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it was a point where, when the diagnosis came, when the doctors came in the room, it was just almost like, wait a minute, what did you say? Because immediately my mind went back to, man, we've been doing all this moving around, traveling. She comes with me sometimes when I travel and go off to minister and sing and this, that, and other. And
doing my own personal travel.
Yeah, doing all that. You know what I'm saying? So it was never a situation, man, where it was like we thinking anything more than it's something that's gonna pass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, we just took it for granted. I'm saying these things because I'm sure some of you that are listening, y'all take certain things for granted, a certain feeling, certain pains in your body, certain feelings in your body. And some of us, most of us that are on here, you're getting older. And the older you get, the more you have to pay attention to things in your body, to the point where, the smallest things, you got to go to the doctor and get it checked out. If you're feeling faint, feeling winded, you're feeling, some pains more than you normally would feel. All that are things that you still got to really just pay attention to. Not to say that it's something, but you got to check and see.
Right.
So when we're in this doctor's office and these doctors coming in and they saying all this stuff that they were saying, it was like, they were saying stuff like, your HER2. Tell me, do anybody in here know what HER2 is? And fish and this, and I mean, now mind you, y'all may know.
We didn't know.
We didn't know what none of that meant. And and what were they saying that was causing the cancer?
It was estrogen and hormone driven.
Estrogen and hormone driven.
Right.
So basically, what was your hormones doing? What was it doing?
I just had too much estrogen.
I was
producing too much estrogen.
So because she was producing too much estrogen, it was turning into cancer cells.
Right.
They were fighting one another, and it turned into cancerous cells.
Right.
And so we were like, man, I don't know what that means. What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? And so they started doing these diagrams and doing these pictures and all this other kind of stuff. Right. And we looking like, huh? Like, so in essence, they were like, okay, based on what it looks like, you're already at stage 2. They initially say stage 2. Right. Then they said, hey, if it's in the lymph node though, which is right here, a little bit under your shoulder blade, right in that area, then it's immediately
Stage 3.
Stage 3.
Correct.
It comes back, and they said, "Oh yeah, we see a little something in that lymph node, so we gonna have to diagnose it as stage 3." So immediately you got to go to chemotherapy.
Right.
We're looking like, what? Chemotherapy?
Who, me?
Right. Like
Now,
my doctor said
remind
that.
you,
Uh-huh.
when you was asking me what was my initial reaction, the other part of that was we had just dealt with this with your sister.
Right, right.
So it's like 1 year later
Yeah.
that here it is, you having to deal with this with me.
You know, my sister had just went through a 6-year process with breast cancer.
Right.
And through that process, she had God delivered and healed her from it the first time. And because she didn't really do a full mastectomy with the breast, she didn't cut them off or anything like that. They got it out the first time, but she didn't do a full mastectomy. And they tell you, okay, if you don't get the cancer out and do a full mastectomy where we can know it won't come back at all, then it's a possibility that it will come back again. And in most cases, it comes back more aggressive. And the next time when my sister did come, when the cancer came back, it came back more aggressive in my sister, right? And so, unfortunately, she lost the battle with cancer in 2024 in October, my birthday month, man. And, you know, it was such a crazy feeling, man, because I was like, oh my God, my sister was a strong woman, and that was the last thing I thought was going to happen. And so my wife went through the process with my sister, going to the hospitals, taking care of her at the house, bringing her to my house, our house, and trying to make sure she was good, feeding her, making sure she take her medicine, going to doctor's appointments. Went through all that process. My sister passes. I'm dealing with both of us dealing with just the trauma of that going on.
Yeah.
So when Kim is saying, she's feeling certain things in her breast, I'm thinking, okay, well, God surely is not going to make us relive this whole thing. So again, so the doctor is saying what they're saying to Kimberly about it being stage 3, like right there, stage 3. It's like every feeling that I had.
Because once you hit stage 4,
stage 4, they're saying, hey, man, they're going to have to leave the cancer where it is.
And we'll just give you something to make you comfortable. Correct.
And that's what she said. Now, just imagine you go from thinking it's something regular to now it's like, hey, and then it was a possibility of a speck of it being in her liver.
Right.
So we're thinking, wait a minute, wait. You're going too fast. This is too much at one time. And the doctors were very good with us. They were very informative. They were very clear and communicable. They expressed and really were patient with us because, of course, we don't know nothing about this. So everything that they were telling us was real, like out of our minds. So, it was a lot to take in.
Yes, a lot.
So like explain the mental part that you took when you heard them talk about the stages and all that kind of stuff.
I don't think I really understood it until she said stage 3, and I'm like, well, hold on, I only got 4 stages that you go to. So
right.
If I'm at stage 3, then I'm, that's not good.
Right.
But at the same time, my mental was more on everybody else, like the people that I have to, see about and take care of and be here for.
Yeah.
That was hard.
Yeah.
That was hard.
And
and the enemy will play with your mind.
And did. Because she started having conversations like, okay, now if something happened to me, you're gonna take care of Micah and you're gonna make sure this, that. And I'm saying, no, let's not.
Well, first I gave you an outage. I said, I don't want you to have to endure this again. That's what I said.
Yeah.
And I said, I'll go and you stay in Houston.
Yeah.
Said you don't say anything crazy.
Yeah.
I'll go, you stay in Houston.
Right.
And me and my family will deal with this.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, I don't want you to deal with this. You just dealt with this with your sister. So I don't want you to have to deal with this again. I know this is going to be hard on you.
Yeah.
you know, she thinking about me, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, you ain't finna go nowhere. You know, you're my wife. So why would I throw you on to your sister or your family for you to go to a whole nother state for them to take care of you? And I'm right here.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, your schedule is busy and you ain't gonna have time to go to these appointments with me and go through the process with me. And I was like, man, whatever I'm dealing with at this point is in the back burner. I don't even care about what's going on right now in my ministry, my music, or none of that. Now, mind you, you know, I was just starting to kind of travel with the record that I put out in October. I just put a record out, and I'm thinking, you know, I got to travel to start kind of promoting that. And you know, but all that went to the back burner because I was like, I'm gonna be here because you know I don't know what's gonna happen, but what I do know is I'm gonna be here to see it. So whatever trauma I had to deal with that, with me having to have dealt with that in the past with my sister, all that was out the window because Kim ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So,
but that did show me like your heart towards me, and when you gave those vows, you meant it,
right,
for better or for worse.
Right.
So
and
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So let me ask you, how did your faith or your beliefs, your personal beliefs, help you process the diagnosis early? Like when you first heard, how did your faith and belief in God, or just in belief in yourself, help you process this diagnosis?
You know, it's a lot of scriptures that talk about faith, and we read about it, we talk about it in church, but it's not until you're in a situation where you have to really apply those things in your life.
Yeah.
And I remember my very first initial sermon I preached was out of Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. And it was my faith that kept me through this process. I had to learn to lean for real on God because there's a lot of other things I've gone through in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this right here probably was the one thing that really fear wanted to creep in real bad. Because that when they said that stage 3, that almost took me out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And once again, it wasn't just thinking about me. It was like, it's not my time to go yet. You know, it's still so much that I have to do and so many things that God has promised me that I must fulfill. And I know he ain't trying to get rid of me yet. So it was really leaning on God a lot.
Right.
Not on myself, not even allowing my mind to think on negativity, to think about me possibly not being here. And that's one reason why I didn't share it with people. Because I didn't want, you know, how they felt to fall over on me, or for me to be worried about how they're feeling. I got to process this myself. You know, so it was really just, I had to trust God. I had to believe that God had me, had to believe that God loved me, and that his grace was sufficient.
One of the main things Kim said to me around that time was, okay, Cedric, don't tell nobody. She was like, I don't want you to really share this with anyone. I don't want you to really tell anybody, because you got to be careful who you tell about the situations you're going through in life, your obstacles, you know, the issues that you're dealing with.
Right.
Because the wrong people in your circle, they could ooze a little bit of negativity and doubt.
Or even if they knew someone who gone through the process, everybody's process is different.
Everybody's process.
I mean, we go into the treatment center, and I mean, everybody looks different. Everybody's chemo is different. I mean, it's just different. So I really didn't want to hear about all the different things that people have gone through. Well, they said this. Well, when I went through this what happened. Da 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 da. Even what the doctor said didn't happen. You know, they said my first treatment, all my hair was gonna come out. I still have hair. Now it has been, but it didn't fall out. Right. But I do remember asking God that if I must go through this process, please don't allow me to look like I'm sick. Because you know, as soon as all my hair would have been gone, then people would automatically knew something is going on. But everybody process is different. And I just really didn't want to hear about everybody's process. I wanted to go through my process. And once I went through my process, I was going to tell the story, my story.
Yeah. So we're still going to church. Like I said, we're going to church. She's going to church. She's showing up. She laughing. She joking. You know, nothing changed. You know, when people come up to her, you know, she's speaking and all that kind of stuff, laughing, joking like she would normally do. You know what I'm saying? It was never an indication that it was something going on with her physically. All right. And she intentionally, how did you mentally, how did you do that? How did you keep yourself upbeat to still communicate, stay upbeat, stay positive with others as they were talking? Because most times when people go through certain things like that, that's the time that they can get all the attention that they ever wanted. They want to tell the world about the fact that something happened. This is their time to shine. So what made you not just like go there?
My personality wasn't gonna let that happen.
Okay. What does that mean?
Meaning that I'm not one to display what I'm going through. Never have been that person.
Okay.
I'm not a charity case. I'm not looking for anybody to, you know, really. I just don't want to be a charity case. I don't want anybody to be focused upon a sickness or a disease that I'm not focused on. Mm-hmm. If I gave it to God, I gave it to God. I don't have time to focus on that. And I don't want that to be the main thing. The main thing is we're here and let's talk about something else. I don't want to stay focused on that. But I really was able to do it because, I mean, they didn't know. I didn't want them to know. And that's how I did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just didn't. I mean, I wanted to show up. And through the process, I really wanted people to see that God carried me through this with grace. Mm-hmm. That's what I want.
When they start telling you the steps to make sure the cancer is all out, like what were the steps that they told you from beginning to end? Like what would they need to do in order to make sure that the cancer was all the way out?
Well, first we had to start with chemo.
Okay.
And then from chemo, you have surgery. Mm-hmm. From surgery, you have radiation. Mm-hmm. Radiation. After radiation, you have another surgery.
So when they were saying, you know, you got to go through chemotherapy, that was like, okay, chemotherapy. You know, all the pictures of chemotherapy that we see is people, like she said, hair falling out, right. You're losing weight tremendously.
And we've seen a lot of that.
We've seen a lot of that.
And, yes. And at one point, I almost felt bad because I was coming in there happy-go-lucky, right. Talking to everybody, having full conversation. Everybody know us,
right,
in the treatment center.
Yeah.
And I mean, going in there, do my little treatment and coming on out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, you know, you see people coming in there in wheelchairs, they can barely walk.
Yeah.
Wrapped up, heads wrapped up. I mean, it's a sight to see.
Yeah, it is. You know? What were some of the biggest emotional challenges that you faced during chemotherapy? Like when they started chemotherapy, what was some of the challenges you had?
The first treatment that I got, that was hard because my body did not do well with that. That reaction to that first treatment was horrible.
Wow.
And I think they called that treatment like that chemo, like a red-eye demon or something like that it's called because it's so harsh on your body. And a lot of people can't handle it.
Now, mind you, they telling us the type of chemo she was going to have to take. We didn't even know what that was.
Oh, no. I just thought chemo was chemo.
That was the treatment. You know, we didn't know it was. We didn't know it was different types of chemos and this, that, and other. We just didn't know that. You know, so when they're telling us the type of chemo she's going to take, we thinking, oh, okay,
one type of
chemo, you know. So, but they was like, okay, no, this first chemo we're going to give you, it's kind of hard on your body. Right. You know, it may cause different types of reactions or this, that, and other. So we go into the first treatment. Right. First treatment, they sit her down, they do all, you know, well, let me go back.
Yeah, because before you do treatment.
Before we do that, they had to put the port in her breast.
In my chest.
In the chest, yeah.
So I busted that open twice. Yeah, that was tough. One time by somebody hugging me because they didn't know that I had this port in me and they hugged me too tight and it busted open.
Now think about this. Because they were like, okay, you can get the chemo through your arm, but if you get it through your arm,
you're gonna destroy your blood vessel.
Mm-hmm. So they was like,
Your nerves.
but now we can put a port. And of course, Kim was like, well, if you put this port in there, I can't wear this kind of dress. Just flesh. Just all carnal, all flesh.
Correct.
She thinking about the outfits she can't wear.
And it was hard.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard. I had to find stuff to keep it covered, and people would not know about it.
Yeah.
It was very hard.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, girl, if you don't go ahead and get this port in your doggone
That's
chest.
the person who does not have to have this port in him. Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking, hey, if the doctors say this is the best way to do it, to administer the chemo,
right,
then yes, do that.
Right. And I did do it because I didn't want them destroying my nerves,
right,
which could have messed them up forever.
Right.
Arm could just be jerking, you know.
Right.
And then everybody be like, what's wrong with you?
Right. So they put the port in there. The port was, kind of visible. It was kind of sticking out of the chest, so you could tell it was something
there if you seen
it. If you seen it. And so there was a little scar that was right underneath the port, and it started getting irritated. Mm-hmm. So here goes another issue, because it's getting irritated. Now they may not be able to use the port that she did surgery for them to administer the chemo. So we like, man, come on now, Lord.
They wanted to take that port out, and I begged them not to take it out. Like, just give me another chance.
Yeah, because I'm talking about the breast it was like scars, like somebody that it was like a bruise, and then it turned into a scar. It's like if you get scratched up or you get a bruise or something, it can start getting red, and then it starts scarring, and then you got all these issues happening. And so we went back to the doctor and say, hey, man, something's going on with this area where you put the port. And they're saying, oh, we may not be able to use that port. We may need to take it out and put it on the other side. Right. Or we just may have to just use your arm.
Because if it gets infected,
you
could die.
Yeah, because
it goes in your bloodstream.
If the infection goes in the bloodstream from that port, it goes in your bloodstream and you could die. Now, I want you to think about this. We're already dealing with the diagnosis of cancer. Now you're telling us the port that you gave her for her to get the chemo, we may not be able to use it. So we go into the emergency room because it's hurting her, it's irritating her. You know what I'm saying? And
busted open.
It's busted and open, and so now you can see the port.
Yeah, you can see the port.
You can see the port peeking out, and we like, man, okay, Lord, okay, what's happening, man? Like, what's going on? Like, how did that make you feel through that process?
I was over the port. I was over it. Like, just having some foreign inside of me, I was over it. It was itching. It was irritating. And being poked every single week was just annoying.
Yeah. Now, in that process, I told a few people about what Kim was going through. A few that I felt needed to know, because they would be able to kind of partner in prayer with me. Mm-hmm. They were positive people that I knew could get a prayer through, some ministers, pastors, bishops, and all that kind of stuff. And, when I look back at it, I kind of hate that I did that. I kind of hate that I did it. Y'all got to be careful who you share your personal information with, because they'll mishandle it.
Yes.
And mismanage what you're going through.
Yes.
And I'm not just talking about, her diagnosis right now. I'm talking about stuff that you're going through right now. Yes. You got to be careful who you tell that stuff to.
Correct. Pastors, whoever, you got to be careful.
You got to be careful, man, because they'll know what you're going through and act like they care. But they don't care. The same folk I shared with, they acted like they cared, but they still wanted what they wanted when it came to me. I'm telling them, when I'm dealing with, when it comes to my wife, I got to be there with her for appointments and this, that, and other.
Now, we did make sure we did things around certain things. Mm-hmm. Like, we tried to work with schedule.
Right. And, it was just amazing. I got a chance to see who was really for me, for us.
Yes.
In this moment.
Yes.
Got a chance to do it.
Yes.
So, and just sharing that with her, I had to be careful what I shared with her, because I'm thinking I don't want to share too much with Kimberly, because I don't want her worried. I don't want her stressing, because the stress
does not help you.
While you're dealing with that, the cancer could strengthen the cancer and all that kind of stuff.
Just stressing and going through chemo will make you sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
Stress would make you sick, and
Yeah.
it would shut down your body, your
Right.
nervous system, and
Right.
everything.
So we had to pray about that. I know I prayed about it several times. I'm like, man, you know what, Lord, I'm just gonna keep on going. There's some things I did not share with Kim because I did not want her to be worried. Because if I tell her certain things about what's going on with me, she's a mother and she be mother hen and she thinks she got to protect and fight on my behalf. And I didn't want her to feel like she had to do that. So, I had to act stronger than I really felt. So I couldn't show my emotion as it relates to some of the things I was going through emotionally or even ministry or musically, because I was like, man, let me just go ahead and be strong for her.
And you know what? You saying that, and even throughout the situation, the process, I was trying to make sure I was being strong for you.
Explain that.
I didn't want you to worry about some of my emotions and how I was feeling about going through the process. Because some days it was hard. Like it took a toll on me because I'm very active. And some days I couldn't be as active as I wanted to be, like go work out and just, stuff you needed to do and running around and getting certain things done. And I had to push myself some days just to do it.
And Kim don't tell you that.
No.
Kim is one of those people like some of y'all.
We rise to the occasion.
Y'all just roll, right? Y'all just keep on going and keep on going and keep on going. I don't know when she's really hurting, but when Kim slows down, I know something is wrong. I know something is going on because she's one of those people that cannot be still. She gonna move and go here. She gonna go there. She in one room, going to another room, cleaning the house, cooking something, making this, fixing this up, cleaning around the house, doing all that. But when she slowed down a little bit, that's when I was like, okay, something's going on.
Yeah, I didn't even slow down when family was coming to visit to see about me. I'm taking care of them the whole time. They was
right. So yeah, it was a real test.
Yeah.
For both of us, really. But let me ask you another question. How did your body respond to this 6 months? And what was the hardest physical side effect that you had to manage?
Hardest physical side effect was just not having the strength that I used to have.
Okay.
Even though I was moving around, I did feel different. Like I just wasn't as strong. Like anybody could have ran up on me probably. And did, in the words of Louisiana, and did me something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just wasn't strong as I normally am.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing. Like, tried to go out and play basketball with Michael, but really couldn't do much for a long period of time. Wanted to go exercise more. And the most frustrating part was I couldn't lift weights anymore. All I can do was cardio, go walk.
Yeah.
And you weren't going to let me lift weights.
Yeah. So, and I had to kind of be more assertive in kind of how I talked to her and like, no, you just not going to do this or you just not going to do that.
Right.
And, now even through all this process, we're still dealing with family stuff.
Yes. Taking mother.
You know what I'm saying? We had a few deaths in the family. We had to show up for family. We had to make sure we were present for people who needed us and needed Kim.
Still encouraging people through the process.
Still encouraging, traveling. You know what I'm saying? And it was hard, man.
It was hard. But, where I found strength at was the weirdest thing. Talking to other people and encouraging them through their situations and their issues and helping them out.
Okay.
Because it made me, number one, forget about what I had going on and help them focus and helping them navigate through their issues.
Right.
And telling them how they too can trust in God through the process and don't wear what you're going through. Because a lot of people do that. They will wear what they are going through. They clothe themselves in whatever issue that they have going on.
Yeah.
And I purposely chose not to do that because I could have just been a whole case right now.
Yeah.
Like I could have blew this thing up and, woe is me.
Yeah.
But, once I decided I wasn't going to receive the diagnosis, that's what the doctor gave me. The doctor diagnosed me, but God didn't diagnose me.
That's right. That's right.
So once I decided I wasn't going to receive it, I heard what they said. And I'm going to go through the process and I'm praying through the process. And Lord, tell me what I need to do, how I need to do it. Because one thing they're not going to tell you is to do a lot of the natural stuff. And that's something I chose to do. A lot of the natural things that helped me through that process as well.
Yeah. Like what natural
like
stuff?
Like the sea moss, soursop, leaves, helped me a whole lot. And I do believe that helped me from being sick. Like they told me I was going to be nauseated, I was going to have diarrhea, hair going to fall out. And I was not sick at all. The most I was sleepy after treatment.
Yeah.
You know, I was Benadryl wasted.
Yeah. Yeah.
But other than that,
okay. What was like what became your biggest source of strength through this journey?
Having you and my family there to help me walk through this process. You know, it was days that I needed to cry because I just felt like so exhausted from just going back and forth to the hospital and going to those appointments. But you and my family really encouraging me through the process. Okay. And let me know, you know, shoot, you doing good.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, you can get through this. And when my hair started shedding a lot.
Oh, when her hair started shedding. When she started shedding a couple of strands. Now, mind you, y'all know Kim's hair flows and it goes down her back, and she got all this little Indian hair, you know, all this Indian in her family and Indian hair and all this other kind of stuff. She going, you know, she loves that, loves doing different styles with her hair and this, that, and other.
I couldn't do no braids or no locks.
Right.
Whew.
Yeah, it was. And so she's saying, can you see all this hair? She would come every time something piece of hair fell out. She'd come to me and say, "Man, do you see how much hair is coming out my head?"
I mean,
and she about to bust out crying because it's like she can see the hair coming out. I mean, in clumps, right? And I had to say, "Oh, Kim, you good? No, you all right? You still, man, you doing really good." You know what I'm saying? We made sure that she stayed, you know, doing the natural things, like she said, the sea moss and the, you know, and the
soursop leaves,
you know, the soursop leaves and the soursop gels and all that kind of stuff.
It's a hair peel that my sister told me about. It's a DHT peel.
Now her sisters are all doctors.
And my mother.
All of them, they ain't got one degree. But they all doctors.
No, they got degrees. It's just not in that.
Well, I'm talking about medical degree. You know, they all smart. Now. Just don't get me wrong. They all smart, but they ain't got one medical degree. Ain't not one of them are doctors. So when she came to me talking about, you know, what Secretary said that if I get this, and so
stuff start coming in the mail.
Yeah, stuff can start showing up at the front door. You know, getting delivered
to the point they was mixing it up because Cedric was ordering stuff.
Yeah,
they ordering stuff.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they did this cold therapy, the stuff where you put the cold cap and the gloves and the stuff on the feet,
that's something they did not share. They didn't tell me about it. So I was talking to the doctor and I was telling her I was very concerned about my hair. Very concerned because I did not want to lose all my hair.
Yeah.
You know what I look like if I lost all my hair?
No, I don't. But I knew that wasn't going to happen. In my mind, I just knew.
You did say that. You was like, you wasn't worried about my hair.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about
it. And I was like, Cedric, what if all my hair come off?
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to wear a wig.
Yeah. My biggest thing was keeping her uplifted and keeping her positive. And I kept saying, guard what you say.
Yes.
Guard what you say in this season, because what you say, your body is going to respond to what you say. So I kept saying, man, be positive, stay positive. Keep positive affirmations in front of you. Speak those things that be not as though they were. Keep on talking positive. Tell yourself you're feeling good. Even if you don't feel good, keep saying it because your body responds to that.
Right. And it's some things that we can manifest.
Yeah.
That shouldn't have to manifest.
That's
so
right.
We can cause it to manifest by the words that we say. And one thing you have, I always said, you got to be careful of the things that you say. Your words have power.
That's right.
And it is true. Your words do have power.
Yeah, your words got power, man. So we going through this whole process, and I'm saying, hey, you already healed. You cancer free. Right. You ain't got to worry about this. I just know everything gonna be good. I kept saying, the doctors are saying you got to go through this process, and you're gonna have to do this, and this. I say, but and I told the doctors this in the doctor's office. Yeah. I said, I know what y'all saying, but Kim is not gonna have to go through all this.
Right.
And the doctors were looking at me like,
well, this is what science says.
That's right. Stay positive.
And we'll take it back to the board. The board.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying? They started saying, yeah, Mr. Ballard, that's right. You stay positive because, of course, doctors don't necessarily want you to depend on God and faith,
Right.
and they definitely don't want you to do no natural
No.
stuff that will, that will help heal your body.
Because they want your money.
They want your money. So they don't want you talking about sour sap and sea moss and other natural ways of taking care of this cancer. They don't want to hear none of that. They want you to go through this stuff because that's what's going to help their bottom line and the insurance company with what it is they're giving you.
Right.
So, we went through that whole process, man. And so, we had to go through the doctors looking at us crazy. I know the doctors looking at me crazy.
Definitely.
And so
we stood on what we said.
We stood on it, and we still standing on it. Yeah. So, we going to the doctor. Mind you, the port in the area around the port, it finally healed up to where we didn't have to worry about, whether or not they can use that port. Right. Now we got to deal with the nurses being able to, get to the port and being able to, put the access it and put the needle in it to where they can administer the chemo the right way. So now she got to get stuck in that spot every week. And it affects that area. Correct. And the doctors were saying, hey man, prayerfully it will stay healed enough to where, they can still keep accessing that same area. Right. And so thankfully we had some good nurses that were able to do it, but there were some. Like, talk to me about that. The nurses that were coming in and the ones that didn't quite know how to administer or access the port the right way.
Now that was rough. Because we had maybe 2 or 3 that accessed my port, and I don't know. It was painful, very painful. Mm-hmm. Then they didn't tell me that I can use lidocaine to numb the area until, what was that, the second time? The second time. Mm-hmm. So they gave me lidocaine, and that helped numb the area. But, I mean, there had to be a good nurse, know about accessing the port, to know how to do it. Right. And there was a few that just couldn't quite get it right.
Because then when they did tell us to put the lidocaine on there, they said, well, put it on 2 hours before. Not realizing that putting it on 2 hours before, by the time they actually stuck her in that area to access the port, the lidocaine wasn't working no more.
Yeah, the lidocaine.
So they was like, then another nurse would come in and say, well, no, you only really have to do it 30 minutes before. Then one said, well, you only have to do it 15 minutes before. Right. So it was like different nurses saying something else different.
Then something different. They was.
You know what I'm saying? So it was continuous, information being given, and we were like getting frustrated because we don't know.
Yeah, I was getting frustrated because I was in pain.
Yeah.
That was a lot, because I think I had got the port on a Tuesday and I had treatment 2 days later. Like, I didn't even know you can get treatment that early after getting the port, because, you're still trying to heal from the port.
Right.
And the very first lady that accessed it, I mean, she acted like she had a care in the world about me being in pain.
Right.
Like, I almost came off the table.
Yeah.
Snatched
she
her
just
up.
Came in. She opened the shirt. Kim had to pull her shirt down, and she gets. I mean, it was just almost like, wait a minute. Now you do know that this skin. This is skin.
My skin.
Yeah, like you just can't just. It's like somebody getting a needle and just saying, that's painful. And so they didn't really, these nurses, it ain't them getting stuck. So they just like, okay, I just know I got to administer it. So I'm just going to stick you and whatever.
Really, I mean, it didn't really mean nothing to them because they just do that all day long.
All the time. Right. Yeah. So, they ain't mean no harm, but it was just what,
it seemed like she just had no concern that day.
Yeah. But God put some good nurses.
Yes, he did.
That helped Kim through the whole process.
Yes.
They talked to us.
Yes.
They let her know what was coming up. It was some nurses that was actually going through the same thing with their family members.
Correct.
So they were really, really helpful.
Very helpful
through this process.
Yes, they were.
So, tell me, like every week. Now, mind, we're coming from, those of you who don't live in Houston, coming from where we live, You know, we had to drive at least 45 minutes to an hour
Correct.
to the hospital every week.
Every week, and sometimes several times.
A week. Correct.
Several times a week.
Right.
You know, dealing with traffic and.
Right.
Whew.
Right. And
that was irritating.
That was really irritating.
Yeah, it was very irritating. Having to come to the hospital. You know, sometimes we was at the hospital 3 times out of the week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then it was moments where they turned us around and she couldn't get the chemo because her
white
blood cells went down. Too low. So now they got to give her an injection to boost her white blood cells. Right. So we thinking, oh, come on, man. Yeah. You know, if it ain't one thing, it's another.
Right.
So we had to go to the doctor for them to give her the shot, come back home, and then the next day she can get the chemo then.
Right.
So that was a process, again, all within itself.
Right. So that happened several times. And then eventually Cedric became my nurse.
Eventually they said, you know what?
Instead
of you coming to the hospital to get your white blood cells boosted, we're going to send the needles and all the stuff, the medicine to the house. Right. And your husband can do it.
Or you can do it yourself.
Now, I found a little pleasure in that.
And he sure did.
I did.
He was talking about the nurse accessing my port, and he was doing the same thing to my arm.
I said, oh, so I get to put the needle? I get to stick her in the arm? Oh, yeah, I can do that.
I mean, he found pleasure in it.
Yeah, I did.
That's great.
But I'd rather me do it, and it'd be a situation where I learned through that process than somebody else that we didn't know. Because now, if one of the nurses had done that and she was hurting, I was ready to fight. But I did it.
Cedric was ready to fight. I know on 3 occasions. 3.
Yeah.
He's ready to fight.
Yeah, because, you know, it's like I said, the doctors are saying something, the nurses are saying something. We got to decipher between what they're saying and what I know Kim is feeling at the time.
Right.
You know, so I'm telling them, hey, you know, now look, I need y'all to be very clear about what she needs to do so that she can do it and she ain't got to come back and y'all say something else and we going through this whole process because y'all extending this process. Right. And all while you extending it, the cancer is steady traveling.
Correct.
So we're like, no. Whatever you got to do, let's do it. Right. So all through that process of going through where your white blood cells start going down, was there something in your mind when they kept saying your white blood cells were not up enough? Did you feel like maybe the cancer was starting to kind of break you down?
No, I didn't feel like the cancer was breaking me down. I knew chemo takes a toll on your body.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't know that every week my white blood cells was going to be down.
Yeah.
You know, I thought maybe after a couple of treatments, but every week my white blood cells was low, which made me prone to being sick. Could have got sick.
Yeah.
You know, if I came in contact with someone who was sick or whatever.
Yeah.
So I had to be very careful with that.
And I'm traveling. So as I'm traveling, I'm trying to make sure I'm not bringing nothing back to her, or I'm moving around the city of Houston, or when I go to different states, that I'm not bringing nothing back to her that will cause her to get sick, because any sickness can be just totally to another level with her because her immune system is exposed because of the chemo. So I'm praying like, Lord, please don't let me get a cold. Don't let me get sick. Don't let me get nothing that I can make her get sick and she'll catch it and she can't get rid of it, because that will cause, another problem.
Oh, yeah.
So what ends up happening? A few months into it, I went to Atlanta.
You went to Atlanta.
And I'm noticing while I'm in Atlanta that my throat is kind of sore, but I'm good. I ain't thinking much of it.
Now remind you, Cedric would downplay sickness in a minute.
Yeah.
Act like it ain't nothing. Oh, I know what to do. I just come and, I drink this tea and I medicate myself and I stay medicated for 24 hours and I'm good.
Right. What's up, everybody? All those who are coming on, go hit them thumbs up. Hit them thumbs up to let us know that you hear us and that you're with us.
Yeah. Well, so that didn't happen this time.
Yeah. So I come back from Atlanta. I come back to Houston. I'm feeling a little down. I immediately start going to the cabinet where all the medicine is And I started taking medicine. I'm just taking medicine after medicine after medicine. I'm taking Theraflu. I'm taking NyQuil. I'm taking Claritin. I'm taking Tylenol because I'm trying to hurry up and get better. Yeah, I'm drinking tea because I'm trying to hurry up and get better so she don't catch nothing. What happens? The next day, she catches what I have, and I'm trying to stay away and all that, and she ended up catching it anyway. So now she coughing and sneezing and stuff stopped up and all this other. And in my mind, I'm thinking, oh man, like please don't let me be the reason why she's having a setback. Please, God, don't let that be a reason. So, you know, she's going through all this stuff. She's going through the chemo and still being sick and coughing and all this. And I'm thinking, I'm thinking, Lord, come on now, Lord. Come on, Lord. Because I'm talking
about deadly coughing.
Because as a husband, I'm feeling like, come on, man, don't let me be the one that's causing her sickness to get worse. Yeah. That would make me feel horrible. Don't want to feel that. Don't want to go through that. I don't want to deal with that. And so, how did that feel when you was like coughing and sinuses and all that kind of stuff?
Oh, that didn't feel good at all. I mean, I had that ugly cough, like
deep
cough.
Yeah, like she
barking
was
like a dog.
Up.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. That was horrible.
Yeah.
Having the chills, and because I'm even before all this, I never was like a sick person. Like the most I had was cramps.
Yeah.
Okay. I ain't deal with like colds and besides when I moved to Houston finally, the sinus.
Right.
There was sinus
allergies
issues
and all that.
And allergies. But other than that, I haven't been like a sick person.
So mind you, we went to one of these ear, nose, and throat places, and they kind of checked both of us up, and they start giving us a prescription for these nasal sprays. So they gave us like this Flonase type of stuff with some kind of medication in it. So all of us, this is when I knew we both feeling old. And I'm already got this.
Too much.
I'm already got this gray hair and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, Lord, now look, man, I don't want to be looking old. And I got to snort this stuff and all this kind of stuff. So now she getting, the spray to go up her nose. And they say, when you put it in your nose, you got to do it like this. So I'm like, I'm snorting crack at this moment. And that's what I'm doing. I'm on crack. I'm on crack. I might well do lines of it. Just give me a line and let me just do it. Okay, let me just do a line. I'm snorting cocaine. You know what I'm saying? So every night we up here doing this to open up our airway. The airways in our noses and our nasal passages. And I'm like, okay, Lord, okay, man, like let's get this. So even to this day, we got boxes and boxes of prescribed nasal stuff that that if our airways get clogged up with mucus and all that, we can spray it. I mean, I'm talking
about only because I live in Texas. I've never had these issues.
Right.
Come down here, this old dusty air.
Right.
It's horrible.
Now, mind you, going through all this, she's still going to church, still doing stuff around the house, making sure the house is good, still cooking. She was still doing some of her her cooking little things where she would put it on social media, on TikTok, and she would come to my events. She'd be the one that's, right in front of the stage, recording and this, that, and the other, doing all the stuff, being supportive and everything, all this kind of stuff. And
nothing never changed.
None of that changed. She was still doing all of that. And I'm thinking, man, she was just the picture of strength. And grace and still being supportive. And I'm thinking, man,
only God can do that.
Yeah, I mean,
I never thought about, what if I couldn't do anything?
Right.
Because I remember I remember laying on my face and asking God, please don't let me be sick.
Yeah. Did you ever want to make excuses for what you were going through to get yourself out of something?
I mean, I made those excuses with you. I'm like, Cedric, I'm in treatment. Bear with me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Have grace.
But I'm saying, like, was it like certain things that you would a routine that you would normally do that you wanted to make excuses to get out of doing that?
No, I never made an excuse.
Okay.
Yeah, I never made an excuse.
Okay.
I never wanted a sickness to be an excuse for me not to do something.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sick.
Right. Right.
I'm healed.
Right.
And you know what's so crazy? People really don't think that I really feel the way that I feel. Like I really feel like God has me, but they feel like that's not the human side of me. Well, I know God heal. God is a healer, but how do you feel? How do you really feel?
Right.
That's how I really feel, people.
Yeah.
I really feel like that. You live with me.
Right. Yeah. And that was the main reason why she didn't want to tell a lot of people.
Yeah.
It was only a few people in our circle that we kind of told that to. But the majority of everybody that we were around did not know that she was going through any of this. And I was making sure she was good.
Right.
I'm steady talking, making sure families were good. We calling, praying with people. We still listening to people come with their problems and their issues and their concerns. She's still making time for them and all that kind of stuff. It was never a situation where God allowed her to be off.
No, and still would make time for them.
Yeah.
You know, that's just a part of what,
So what is that? What is it? Or what is it that allowed you to realize that, hey man, even though I'm going through what I'm going through, and I have every reason to tell people, hey man, look, deal with your own stuff, because I got my own stuff I'm dealing with. What made you kept saying, no, I need to still be as normal as I can possibly be?
It really wasn't a thought of me being normal. I had to do what I had to do. There's certain things that I know God has called me to.
Right.
And God has put people in my life. And if they was having a situation and they needed to talk, I put myself to the back burner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because whatever I'm going through, I realized I was strong enough to handle it and I could take it to him.
Right.
And that's what I did. I took it to him.
Yeah.
It was days where I came to you. I'm like, oh my God, Cedric, I'm just kind of tired of this.
Right.
But besides that, I mean.
And the phone kept ringing. People steady calling with their issues and concerns. Mm-hmm. And not one time did she ever say, hey, man, you know what? I can't talk right now. I'm going through what I'm going through. Now, of course, I'm saying, hey, look, people come to you about certain things. You ain't got time to be dealing with this, that, and the other.
Yeah, you did say, you're going to have to handle certain situations different. You can't handle it like
because she ain't listened to me no way. So, she was just going to do what she was going to do anyway.
And I felt for the person or the people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have a heart for people. And, I felt like in the moment that I could help them.
And ministry was always her focus. It was like ministry and just being able to help people.
That's it.
Was always her focus. To the point where it was like, you know what, no matter how I'm feeling, no matter how tired I may feel, no matter how I feel like, man, hey, I got another doctor's appointment. I got to talk to this doctor about where I am right now. Like none of that was ever something that she put emphasis on and focused on. It was like, hey, man, I just want to be as normal as I possibly can be.
That's what I wanted to be, normal.
Yeah.
I want to be normal. I want the people to treat me normal. And the only way that I was going to be treated normal is not saying anything. Because as soon as I said something.
Right. Oh, so, we're about 2 to 3 weeks from her last chemo treatment.
Right.
And she was like, man, I need to talk about this process. And she was like, I need to talk about it, but I don't know how to talk about it to the people. I don't know if I need to just do now she would journal and do all that.
Right.
But she was trying to figure out, how do I communicate with others about my journey, because my journey could potentially help somebody else.
And it was more of going through with grace.
Yeah.
Just going through with grace, not being clothed in your issue or your disease or your problem, but going through it with grace.
Yeah.
Everything you go through shouldn't be put in front of everybody right while you're going through it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that was the main thing that I wanted people to get. You know what I mean? Because I see people go through stuff, and soon as something happened, they got to go put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
And granted, Facebook do ask you what is on your mind.
Right.
You know what I mean? But everything don't need to be put on there. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you just have to go through your process. And then once you've gone through your process, because even going through your process, you're learning and you're growing and you're understanding things in a different way. So you should be getting revelation, a greater revelation of your process, so that you may be able to tell somebody else about it. And this process, I had to wait before I said something.
Yeah.
Because I really didn't know what I was about to face,
Right.
honestly. I didn't know, even though we helped your sister with hers, and I know other people who have gone through it. I personally didn't know what I was going to have to face, because it was just a lot of stuff we didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of stuff we still don't know.
And so, we're going through this whole deal. We're going through this whole ordeal. And I'm saying, hey man, I'm finna go ahead and start. What's going on, EJ? What's up? What's up with you, bro?
Hey, EJ.
We're going through this whole process. And I say, man, you know what? I'm finna start on another record. I'm finna start on a new record. And when I say stuff to Kim like that, she thinks, okay, she goes into manager mode. Well, then okay, so you need to start doing this, and this. So I'm saying, Kim, you don't need to worry about that. You just focus on you right now and get this. You let me handle this. Kim ain't listening yet again. And she starts writing songs. And so she wrote a song called He Won't Fail. So she brought it to me. And I'm talking to her, and she said, I want you to hear this song. And she started singing it. Now, those of you who know Kim that are on here, okay, Kim sings. She's
just get with the story.
She used to be on a praise team at her old church. God, you telling all that good stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? So when she starts singing it, she's not a singer, but she sings. Y'all know what that means. She's not a singer. Like,
you're just saying I don't sing as good as him. That's
no. I'm just saying when she started singing it, I was thinking, okay, that's good. So she was like, she thought, well, all you gotta do is when I sing it to you, you just go into the studio and record it. I'm thinking, no, that's not how it works, Kim. Like, I gotta put music to it. I gotta make sure I know the melody line.
I gotta make sure the melody.
Yeah, I mean, but I had to musically put it together.
Cedric just operates.
Y'all know how this go. My boy EJ know how this go. Your spouses just start saying stuff and they just think you just supposed to run with it and get going, right? It's like, no, that's not how that works. I gotta think through it. From a production standpoint, I gotta think through this. So I'm putting music together, and all while I'm putting music together, she don't hear her song. So she thinking, my song ain't good. My song ain't good. So I guess she ain't gonna use my song. I knew get an attitude. I said, that's not what you need. I was like, look, now I told her at the beginning of this process, I say, look, you ain't got time to get no attitudes. You ain't got time to be upset with me.
I'm talking about he done said this several times.
You ain't got time for all that. We ain't finna argue about none of this stuff, because I don't need you getting stressed out and all this kind of stuff when it comes to, anything. So anytime we would get in an argument, anytime she would be upset with me or I'm upset with her, I'm like, we're not finna argue. I don't want to argue, because you got to stay upbeat and stay healthy about stuff. So I'm thinking, okay, I know I got to do something with this song. Okay, He Won't Fail.
Did you like the song?
I did, but I didn't know what I was going to do with it, because I had other songs that I was trying to make sure that it was good. And so I'm working through those songs and your song in the process.
Remind you now, I don't write songs. I really don't. But I knew the Lord gave me that song.
Yeah.
And it was more of an encouragement for me, because I was actually,
Now, mind you, EJ, you gonna like this. Hey, so she didn't hear a song. She heard all these other songs that I started putting together. And I'm telling her, listen to this track. And she was like, yeah, that's all right. That's cute. And then I would be on the couch. I'd be on the couch and she just start humming her song. He won't fail. On the inside, I'm laughing because I'm like, she think I'm gonna forget her song. She think I'm gonna forget her song. She gonna keep on humming it. And she going through her phone, looking through her phone. No,
Because
my
I was still
God.
writing the
Oh,
song.
yeah. And I'm thinking,
I was still
okay.
writing the song.
Right.
And also the song was encouraging me.
Right.
That he won't fail. No matter what I was going through.
Right.
He was not gonna fail me. He wasn't leaving me.
Right. So so I'm talking to my brother Ernest Pugh. I'm talking to Ernest Pugh. We go out.
He the only person that took me serious.
Right. Ernest Pugh,
Ernest
Pugh and Keith Williams. They heard us. She says, "Oh, this is how I know she was feeling some type of way." This is on her birthday. Now, mind you, we all took her out for her birthday, and so at the table, we're at a five-star restaurant. At the table, she says, "Hey, Ernest, I wrote a song. Maybe you can put it on your record."
Okay, because that was moving too slow for me.
So she starts singing the song, right? And so she pulls out, because she got it on voice memo and everything. So she starts singing the song and that and other. Pew do anything to embarrass me. So him and Keith start singing it with her. You know what I'm saying? They start singing it with her. So they at the table, they rocking. Oh, good song. Ooh,
and if you don't do it, I'm gonna take it.
Right. Yeah, if you ain't gonna do it, you say I'm gonna take it and put it on my record. I was like, okay, wait a minute.
So now you want it.
What I ain't about to do is you're not about to take this song that she done got inspired, encouraged through her process, and you use it on your record. No. So I voice recorded them and us singing it at the table. I took the song, the voice memo, I sent it to my guy, and we started producing the music to it. So we put the music to it and this, that, and other. And my boy Marcus Walker, I'm praying for Marcus right now. Yeah. Marcus Walker, him and his wife just had a little baby, and she had the baby before time. So they're still in the hospital. So y'all keep Marcus Walker and his wife, Vanessa, in your prayers. But me and him talking through it. But I also have other guys that I'm talking through this with as well. And so I'm like, okay, one of them gonna come back to me and gonna come up with the concept, and whichever concept I like better, I'm gonna use it. So, you know,
I had already did a lot of the work.
Yeah, I mean, you did. So, you know, they brought it back to me. I let her hear it. When she heard a little bit, just the reference track of the song, she was like, but according to her, I ain't tripping. I mean, you can use my song if you want to. So,
because I was gonna give it to somebody, whether it was Ernest or somebody else.
But I felt we needed. I felt like I needed to do it because it was going to be something that I could sing, because I saw the process of what she was going through, how all the stuff that she was dealing with was affecting her. But that song, she kept on humming it and singing it and humming it and singing it. And I'm saying, if it's going to help her through what she's going through, imagine the people that is going to help when they hear it, right? And so we started working on the song. All while she's still going through treatment, still going getting the chemo.
Hold on, EJ, I almost sent it to you.
Oh, hey,
I almost sent it to EJ
because y'all be talking. You know what? Y'all be talking. You know what I'm saying? EJ and Keisha and all them love y'all, man.
Send it to EJ because he's gonna get on it.
Yeah, she said, you know, do I need to send it? I say, now look, y'all. Now look, I'm going to do the song. I said, I'm talking to EJ about a whole different song.
Now, hold on. He was moving a little too slow. It's still too slow because I actually was gonna put it out when I told my story.
Right.
But you see, I don't have it.
Now, mind you, I'm saying, now look, focus on your process. Focus on it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but like I said, when I told her I was about to do a song or do my record, a new record, she was like, you know, okay, you need songs. So let me, you know, so even while she's going through the process, she's going through chemo, going through treatments, going through doctor's appointments, going through MRIs, getting checked out, all this, she's still thinking about supporting me. Right. You know, and I was like, man, you know, that's love, man. You know, and I don't know if people who are getting married now in relationships know the selflessness part of being in a relationship. That selflessness that you got to have, even while you're going through, you still got to think of that person that you're with.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't really see that a lot. And honestly, I haven't experienced that in my previous relationship that I've ever had. that while someone else that I was with was going through something, that they were still thinking enough of me and what I was going through and what I was dealing with. And what I'm talking about, a record, is nothing compared to what she going through. She going through something that's life and death. I'm just talking about putting a record out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, man, you know what? You know, the least I can do is go ahead and push to get this song done. You know, finally got the song done, put some vocals on it, this, that, and the other. And it was amazing, man. The song came out amazing. And when she was able to hear it, I was like, thank you, Lord, that I was able to do this for my wife. Yeah. You know, because it was something that was near and dear to her. That was the least I could do in order to make sure she knew that I got her and I'm supporting her just like she's supporting me, right? And so, you know, we going through the process of chemo. We about a couple of weeks out before her last 2 treatments of this, that, and the other, man. And my schedule started going, you know, kind of going up. Because once again, you know, people don't know, we didn't tell nobody. So nobody knew when they was calling me to do different engagements and I'm having to fly out that I was still trying to take care of her. Nobody knew that.
But them bills have to be paid.
But the bills got to be paid. Because the worst thing that could happen,
don't have nowhere to live.
Don't have nowhere to live, don't have no lights, don't have no food, you know what I'm saying? No AC, no none of that. While all this is going on, you talking about stress levels. So I'm still doing what I got to do to make sure that everything is up and running and going, but I'm still trying to be here for her. You know, so my work ethic and my work method had to change because normally when I'm working on a record, I'm isolated. You know, I'm staying to myself. I'm trying to make sure that I'm really hearing from God, or just really being able to write and produce and put musical stuff that's really going to be a blessing to others, and really people musically are going to like it. Right. I didn't really care about none of that, honestly. All I cared about was, okay, let me speak to what we're going through, because I believe what we're going through is going to help somebody else when we really tell the whole story about this process and this journey that we were going through.
You said something, because you said what we was going through.
Right.
And that's exactly, we both had to go through it.
That's right.
Even when you had, you know, your accident, we both was going through it.
That's right.
You know, you with your spouse and your spouse is going through something, y'all both are going through it.
That's right.
You know, and a lot of times, you know, people tend to be selfish, but
right.
I really try my best not to be selfish in this situation and use this situation to
you know, and I'm thinking about this, but never one time did I say you going through it. I always said we going through it. You know, I said we going through this, we going through that, we going through treatments, we going to the doctor's appointments. And you know, I was kind of subconsciously saying that, and I didn't think about it honestly until toward the end of the chemo. You know, that man, I never missed a treatment because I wanted to make sure. It's not because the engagements didn't come where I could have been going. Right. It was just my personal prerogative to make sure.
And you said that from the beginning. You was going to make sure you made
that I was there for every treatment, man. I wasn't going to miss because I did not want anything to be said that would cause her faith to waver, for her, you know, for her whole posture to go down and be sad or be negative. Because once again, that was going to be something that would affect her body and the way that, you know, the sickness would affect her. Yeah. So I wanted to make sure that I was there, because anytime she felt some type of way, I was like, man, no, you got to come on. No, you can't stop talking like that. Stop saying certain things that's going to cause your body to align with your words. Right. You know what I'm saying? So we kept on speaking stuff that our bodies could align to. You know what I'm saying? So a week before, you know, a week before her last appointment, you know, we were kind of talking about different things that we were possibly going to do as far as the future of our family, you know, different things we were going to be trying to do. Do we want to relocate? Do we want to stay in Houston? Right. Do we want to make sure, you know, that we get through this, and then just, you know, try to talk through things, all while God kept holding her up, holding her body up.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Hair kept coming out. You know what I'm saying? You know, she kept having certain things going on with her body, but she kept on staying positive and she kept going through the whole process.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what made you kept going like that? I mean, you knew that certain things that the doctor was saying and the things that they were doing through the treatment was causing your body to feel certain ways. Like, what made you just kept going and kept being there as a wife, as a mother, as a person, as the queen of the house, all that kind of stuff? Like, what kept you really going?
The fact that everything I do, I love what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I love being a wife. I love being a mother. And I was just like, as long as I had the strength to do it, I was going to do it.
Yeah.
Because you weren't finna have Becky up in my house.
Yeah, because I said,
or
hey,
Maria.
man, you can get a nurse to come in and kind of help you out, you know, and I'll pick her out. I'll pick her out.
Sure.
I'll pick her out. She can come to the house. She can clean you up and do this, that, and the other, all that kind of stuff if you want that, if you don't want me to do it. Now, mind you, you know, Kim never needed any of that kind of stuff. We were just kind of joking like that. And we kind of kept those laughing moments because it was important for her.
Because I said, if you had somebody come in my house, if you ever got down, you know the type of person you was gonna receive.
She talking about, yeah, you know, I have
a little flamboyant boy come up in here and help take care of you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. Okay. So anyway,
yep.
What did you learn about yourself though through this process? What did you learn about you?
Whew. I'm strong.
Mm-hmm.
Very strong. Strong mentally. I was strong physically. And I just learned that I can get through whatever, you know, I'm faced with pretty much as long as I put God first.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have made it through this process if I didn't put God first.
Yeah.
My faith, I wouldn't have made it through the process.
Yeah.
If you wasn't there pushing me, my family, I wouldn't have made it through the process.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was one moment when we was in the doctor's office and the doctor had said something to me and the enemy got in my ear. I'm talking about quick. He said, just give up. And immediately I said, I'm not giving up. And I said that. And from then on, I just kept going. You know, I just kept going. Mm-hmm. Number one, it's not my diagnosis. It's not my disease. It's not. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So
what does that mean when you say that? It's not your disease.
It's
what
not
does
mine.
Mean?
It's not mine. All the disease and stuff is on the cross. It's not mine.
Okay.
And even though someone can diagnose you with something, you don't have to accept it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's once you accept it, then all this other stuff began to manifest in your body that you didn't feel before. Okay. Meaning that once you accept it, you take it on.
Okay.
I chose not to take it on.
Right. What's the biggest thing you would tell other women? You know, whether they feel something, whether they have a knot in their breast, or you know, they may be feeling some different things, or maybe not feel nothing at all. What would you tell them that they need to know as it relates to, you know, this process that you're going through?
First, start with self checks. You check yourself at home. You know, feel a knot, call and get checked. You know, go do your mammograms, go through all your appointments. And cancer is not just in your breast, you know what I mean? It's other areas. So everybody needs to go and get checked.
Yeah.
You know, and do your regular, what they call it? Your regular
your woman checkups?
Well, it's not actually a woman checkup. I mean, it's a woman checkup, but it's something else that they call it. I can't think of it right now.
Okay.
But do your annual checks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't skip out on them because you're too busy. You don't even have to skip out on them because you don't have insurance, because there's a lot of programs that they will pay for it. You know, and I found out that through this process. So, and then if you are diagnosed with something, you don't have to accept it. You know, don't accept what they say.
Right.
You know, you still go through the process,
right?
But you don't have to accept it.
Right. And I mean, get checked from the rooter to the tutor. I'm talking about from the head to the toe. You know, I think it's so important that you should get checked. From a male perspective, I had never had a colonoscopy. ever.
But that only comes like around a certain age.
But
unless you have
I'm
issues.
saying I never in my life had a colonoscopy. But the minute you start going through what you went through, I was like, you know what?
Oh yeah. He was going to
And
get
men,
everything checked.
and men, y'all know how that is. A colonoscopy
You
is
don't feel
not
anything. It's just the process.
colonoscopy. In your head, you're thinking, oh man, you got to.
Yeah.
I mean, they going through your.
Okay. Yeah.
Come on, y'all. Y'all men, y'all know how this go, man. As men, we don't want nobody touching our privates, our booties.
No, it's not that you don't.
We don't want nobody checking none of that. Don't touch that. We don't want no doctors touching none of that. You know what I'm saying? Don't stick nothing on me,
But
in
you
me,
don't feel it.
around me. Don't stick me at all. And until I went through it, I didn't know the process. And sometimes, like what Kim said, you go through these diagnoses or your checkups. Your fear is just the idea of the process that may happen.
Correct.
Or what they may have to do.
What they
You know what I'm saying?
find.
And then you realize when you start, you be like, oh, it really wasn't as bad as I thought it was. So I got my colonoscopy. They told me everything was good and all this, that, and other. And I felt proud of myself, but I have to, I have to applaud and thank Kim for this, because I probably wouldn't be taking my checkups and all that as serious if she hadn't been going through what she was going through.
And all things work together.
So what she was going through inspired me to make sure, because the last thing we needed was for both of us to be going through some type of health issues and all this other kind of stuff. And so, I mean, we admonish each and every one of y'all, man, to please get checked. Check if you don't feel nothing. Check if you do feel something. If there's some abnormalities in your daily routine and your breathing and how you may feel when you walk, how you may feel when you are doing your regular, movements throughout the day. If you bend over and you feel something in your back, or feel something in your stomach, or feel something when you are talking, or when, your eyes and this, that, and other, man, get checked out. Ladies, get checked out. Y'all have so many other things to make sure it's functioning at a normal way. So you definitely got to get checked out. So, those are the things, man, that I'm glad that we're becoming more aware of now.
Yeah. And just the natural things. Working out helped a lot, because I was working out a lot before, this whole diagnosis.
Yeah. And
so that helped.
And when Kim says, don't accept the diagnosis, I think sometimes we will spiritualize that, because those of us that are in church or grew up in church, we know we don't accept that in the name of Jesus. We just believe that, even though the doctors are saying you're going to die, or the doctors are saying you need to do this, if you don't do this, then this is going to happen. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. I don't believe that. God said, baby, look.
And not taking the medicine.
Baby, look, take your medicine, take your vitamins.
And still don't accept it.
And still don't accept it.
That's it.
Okay? Because God has doctors on the earth for a reason.
Because even in that, like they told us that, the process was going to be a little longer.
Right.
But, it ended shorter than what it's supposed to.
So last week, Kim did her last treatment, and she was able to ring the bell.
Ring my bell.
How did that feel?
Oh, man. I was so glad to be out of there. I felt like I had just broken out of prison.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know what it feels like to be in prison, but it just sounds good to say.
Well, let me tell you.
Never mind.
Because I'm one who's...
You tell.
Well, I ain't never been to prison. I've been to jail.
Been locked up.
Been locked up.
Jesus.
But I ain't never been in prison. You know what I'm saying?
But it felt good. It really did. It felt good. I mean, I miss the nurses and the people and the good treatment and the nice sweets that I had. But I'm glad to be out of
It's okay to miss them.
Because we was having to pack a bag before we go and just make sure all the stuff was together before we went. Yep. We coming in there with luggage, and
because we were there for 3 and 4 hours at a time.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing they don't tell you. They don't tell you they got to take your blood first. Then you wait an hour before the treatment even starts. Sometimes even longer than that. And then they gave me Benadryl to
Mhm.
help with the side effects.
But this Benadryl is a little different from the
it ain't that
Benadryl you take over the counter.
No,
This
no.
Benadryl had her
Took
knocked
me out of here.
out.
I'm talking about hot.
She went from laughing and joking with all the nursing staff and all that. The minute that Benadryl entered into her system, you would have thought that, that somebody had slapped the dog crap out of her and she was just laying on the dog. I'm like, what they putting in your veins? What are they putting in your veins that you shooting up and you get started?
When I say that stuff was so strong, they had to dilute it.
They had to dilute it. Yeah. Yeah, for real.
It took me out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever had surgery where they give you that medicine and then knock you out and you don't even remember anything. You just remember being rolled into the room. That's kind of how I felt.
Yeah. They did me like that for the colonoscopy. They was like, you ain't gonna feel nothing because you ain't gonna be. And I was like, I'm gonna be woke. Yeah, so they roll you in there. They, like they would put her in the room and they would just, put you in there and they just be like, we'll see you in a minute.
And they was talking to Cedric after that.
And literally in a minute, you out. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm talking about every week out.
Yeah. But to see her laying there and have to see that medicine going in her body and praying that God, even though the medicine is going in her system, you going in her body where the doctors cannot go.
Yeah.
You're going to the source of it, and you're the God that can heal it at the root of it. So that it never comes back again.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a situation where, even though the doctors were doing what they could do, I know that God, our great physician, was doing something that the doctors could not do. And so that's what we mean by, don't accept the diagnosis. It doesn't mean that you don't go through the process. Right. It just means God uses these moments as an opportunity to make you a visible manifestation of what healing looks like. Yeah. Okay. So God has made her a mannequin, a display of what going through this process looks like.
And even going through the process, I was taking communion.
Yeah.
Taking communion before.
Yeah.
And, just praying before the process and just asking God to, I know this medicine is going in me, but, send your blood through.
Yeah. Yeah,
cleanses and washes and heals.
Exactly. So it doesn't mean you lose faith. It doesn't mean you don't trust God. It doesn't mean you don't believe what God can do. You just know that this is the treatment that the doctors have diagnosed for your sickness.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is that God is already orchestrating your healing and your recovery.
Yes.
Right? So Thursday of last week was her last treatment. She goes through that treatment. She gets to ring the bell, and all the nurses that helped her celebrated her. And some of you all, for the first time, when y'all saw that was the first time you heard anything about her going through it. But that was a very special moment.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because
at that point, I didn't even care if I rang the bell because I was done. I was gonna leave.
Kim was actually walking out. I was like, wait. You got to ring this bell, man. That I felt like she needed to do that. I felt
like God rung the bell.
I felt like she needed to do that though, because I felt like you needed to do that because I was like, man, you know what? This is something where you can tell the devil you lost again.
He lost.
Like you lost.
He lost.
You thought this was going to be something that was going to take me out, or it was going to be something that would stop my purpose and stop my progress.
And make me angry.
And make you believe that everything that God told you and promised you for your life was gone.
Yes.
So I was like, no, you finna ring this bell.
Cedric, make sure that bell got
Heck yeah, we finna ring this bell.
He said, hey. And I think the nurses really forgot that this was my last, they were just surprised that I was done already.
Right. So you went through that process, rung the bell, and I was like, man, we gonna go celebrate. And Kim was like, well, I'm gonna go lay down. I was like, okay, well, we'll celebrate laying down. That's what we so we came home and we celebrated laying down on the couch. You know what I'm saying? So, but we
already been celebrating. We already had the victory. So
that's right.
It was already done.
That's right. So you learned to celebrate and rejoice in every stage.
Every stage.
Every step of the way we were celebrating and rejoicing
Yes.
and believing God had already finished this work.
Yeah.
We believed it.
Yeah.
So, her ringing that bell was just a manifestation of our prayers and our belief in what God can do. And so moving forward, what is something that you can say to encourage somebody that's going through not just something with breast cancer or diagnosis or whatever situations that they're dealing with? What are some things that you can say to somebody that's going through anything that they may be dealing with in their life? Like, what can you say to encourage them?
I would say that you could go through it. You can. You have the strength, you have the courage to go through it. That no weapon formed against you will prosper. That you are the head and not the tail. That if God be for you, who can be against you? And once again, whatever it is that is not greater than God, is not greater than what God can do for you.
Right. That's good, man. Anything else you want to share?
Well, I think you told all my business. So, I don't know. No, but seriously, I do want to say thank you. I really do, because I know it's some people that once they found out, they really, really, really have been praying for me. They really have been concerned. But I do want you to know that I am okay. So when you see me, just act normal. Act like, hey, this is Kim, Lady Kim, whatever y'all call me. It's still me. It don't change anything. Just look at me as that example of God's grace, and God favors me. I don't know why He does. I really don't. I really don't know why God favored me, but I do know that God has a purpose and a plan for my life. I do know that my story had to be shared, because I'm really not one that really like to get on here like that. But Cedric has been encouraging me and pushing me, and we received the word today. And it just kind of like, forcing me. It ain't really forcing me, but God is wanting me to step up and step out and do more than I've been doing. So with that, I have to do it. I just have to do it. You know what I mean? You go through all this, and it's to help and benefit somebody else. Because if I told y'all that I've been divorced, I've lost 2 kids, gone through this treatment, lied on, been in ministries, been thrown away from people. It's just a lot that I've gone through, but God has kept me through it.
Yeah.
And through all that, He's building.
Yeah.
He's building me, and he's putting me in a different place, and it can be scary.
Yeah.
But I have to do what God called me to do. I have to.
I think we both learned about having to really compartmentalize and prioritize things. People who were in our lives before this started are not necessarily in our lives in the same way they were then.
Right.
Not because they did anything bad, or not because it was something where we fell out, or it was something that where it was a negative thing that went down. It was just that God started separating people from us because He knew we were going to be going through this process,
Right.
and it was going to be something that He needed to isolate us and Kim for a season.
Yeah.
So that it would be a situation where He could be the one that she focused on, that she relied on.
Right.
I always want to tell people, don't be mad or don't even feel offended when certain people that you thought you would be going through processes and things and phases of life with are not there.
Right.
Don't feel some type of way. I had to learn this, man.
Oh, I'm learning it.
Yeah, people that were major parts of your life that went through things in your past.
Yeah.
If they're not there now with what you're going through right now, don't be trying to make it happen or pull them back in. Allow yourself to go through this process. Allow God to isolate you so that He can do with you and for you what needs to happen in this season.
Because it's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that you don't love them. It doesn't mean that they don't love you. It just means that in this time, in this season of my life, I just need to be on one accord with God and really allow God to work in me, work in us, those things that God really wants to develop in us. You know what I'm saying? There was another level of faith that I believe God wanted Kim to have in him, not in the friends, not in the family, not in relationships and friendships, but in him. And so he started pulling people away from us. And we were like, man, it seemed like everybody kind of distancing themselves from us in this rough season, you know, for whatever reasons. In some cases, we were distancing ourselves from them. But God knew what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? He knew what he was doing, and we just had to trust God in the season that we were in so that we could handle this season the way God wanted us to handle it. And I'm telling y'all, man, it ain't easy.
It wasn't easy.
It ain't easy.
It wasn't easy.
But God, if you trust God and you believe God and he is really your source, then you learn to lean solely on him.
That's it.
And you allow yourselves to handle people a little more loosely and not keep them so tight on you, you know, because God is your source. And you learn not to make them such the main character in your life story.
That's it.
You know, so we just wanted to come on and share with you, you know, the journey that Kim has gone through and is going through. Continue to keep her in your prayers.
Please.
Continue to pray as she goes through these other steps that the doctors have communicated that she needed to go through to make sure everything is good and her recovery is going to go well. Her restoration process is going to go well. And so y'all keep on praying, keep on believing. You know, those messages have been encouraging to her. So keep on sending those encouraging messages now that you do know. Now don't come calling her sobbing and weeping and crying like she about to go somewhere, like she about to die or like something about to happen to her. Don't do that. You know, we do believe the report of the Lord.
That's it.
And that's all we stand on. So, you know, she doesn't mind talking about it, but if it's going to be a situation where she feel like you finna come and
falling apart,
give her eulogy or something, like don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't plan my funeral.
Right. So, you know, but we applaud everybody, man, just for being, I'm talking about, it's been an overwhelming response of people, you know, just reaching out.
Right. And even after this, if y'all have questions about certain things, inbox me, text me if you got my number.
Well, now the inbox, because there's been some folk, you want me to deal with that, right? Because it's some, you know, these men still inboxing Kim. Talking about you beautiful. We praying for you. First of all,
Cedric,
you beautiful. We praying for you. What is that? What is that?
Cedric.
You beautiful. We praying for you. If you don't get your anyway,
Pastor.
I know. I'm sorry, y'all. Forgive me. That was a husband moment. But my point is, reach out to her. She has something to share. She has a story and a testimony that God is going to allow her to touch thousands of women and people around the world with her story. So we just wanted to share. I know it's late.
Yes, it is. But it's something else that the Lord has put on my heart that I'm going to do. And that is start a prayer line.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to pray for women, men, children, whoever is dealing with whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're going to come together. Me and some women going to come together and we're going to pray.
Okay.
Because that's something that the Lord has been tugging at my heart about, you know.
So stay tuned. Stay tuned. When she starts doing that, she's going to give you all the number and all that so that y'all can start, you know, doing that. So when she sends it, those same folk that's been reaching out, that same level of support need to be for that as well.
Yeah. Because it's more in me that a lot of y'all haven't seen.
Right.
You know, Cedric haven't even seen it.
Right.
Not since I've been here.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just kind of got lax since I've been here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
but it's time to activate the gift. Activate the gift and activate those things that God has put in her. And so I'm excited for her. And I know it's late, so we're gonna let y'all go to bed.
Yeah, because we're back past our bedtime.
Yeah,
way
past our bedtime is past some of y'all's. And you know, we started with a lot of people on here, nine ain't but a couple. So I understand totally. But we just had to get this all out of our system so that you know she can kind of share and encourage somebody that was listening. So we love y'all. We appreciate you all.
And be encouraged. It is well.
Right.
It is well.
Sister Lisa said you should write a book.
I should write a book. You're right. I have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
But I'm still working on being careful on how I need to.
That's another thing that God is working on Kim about, being careful. Instead of just doing it and going with it, she's trying to contemplate on how to do it. And God is just saying, just do it. And so she's just going to do it. And it's going to be good. It's going to be amazing. Yeah. And God's going to get the glory out of it. And people are going to be blessed by it. And not just church folk. It's going to be folk around the world.
Yeah, I don't want just church people. I mean, you know, the church got the church people. I want those that are unchurched.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, if any of y'all, you know, want to join the prayer line with us, let me know. Inbox me.
All right. Well, we're about to let y'all go. We'll pray, and then we're going to let y'all go. Father, in Jesus' name, I thank you for Kimberly's life, for her testimony, for her ability to be a portrait of what grace looks like, a portrait of what healing and believing and trusting in God looks like. And I even pray for those who were on tonight that was able to hear her testimony and get some encouragement and inspiration about what it is that she has gone through, and the fact that if God can do it for her, he can do it for you. And we believe it's already done in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Love y'all, man. Right. Y'all be good, and we'll talk to y'all again soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye, man.